What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. We're here. We're going to start off a new series here. We're going to change the direction here on the Real Estate Marketing Dude. You know, I've realized that I've been having a sausage party on my podcast, and we really need to bring on some more power women, all right? So what I did was literally I made a post on Facebook because I had one of my listeners, one of our clients actually, she's like, where are all the power women? And you know what? It really occurred to me that I haven't had as many women interviews because, you know, a lot of times these guys just sort of come out to me and they're like, hey, dude, I want to do a show. And I just meet people out and about. And I want to kick off a series here. I want to bring on, because the truth is the most successful agents are women. And women run this world, right? So I wanted to bring on a series of power women over the next maybe 3 to 4 consecutive shows. That's what we're going to hear from. So if you want to hear from the dudes, go back. This show has temporarily been renamed to Real Estate Marketing Dudette. And what we're going to be doing is interviewing women and talking about their success and what's working. So today I'm joined by an agent from the Southern California market, I believe in the Riverside, or they call it the Inland Empire type area, right? Yeah. Temecula Valley, all that fun stuff. And her name is Jennypher Moore, and she's had extreme success. I've met you personally a couple years ago at an event, and then we sort of lost touch. Haven't seen you in a couple years, and it's good to see you again. And I want to just sort of bring you on and figure out like how the hell you got so successful. Is that okay with you?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So Jennypher, go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit about your background, your experience, how long you've been in the business and whatnot, and we'll get right on into the interview.
Okay. So I have been in real estate for about 4 years. So I'm pretty new. Before that, I was a stay-at-home mom for 5 years. Before that, I was a dispatcher for the fire department, and I also worked in the hotel industry planning events. Very cool. Those kind of, I think, helped kind of mold me into the agent I am, with kind of like the 5-star customer service that I was ingrained with in the hotels, and then dealing with stress.
I was just going to say the dispatcher and follow-up. Like you can't just get a dispatch call and be like, oh, I'll get to it in like 5 minutes.
Right.
Like follow up right away, right? Speed to the lead in the sense. And 4 years in the business, and what was it? You broke 6 figures like your first or second year into the business. Is that right?
Yeah. Like my first year, I think I made like 40 or 50. It was very slow, just figuring out the systems. I was fresh to real estate, so I didn't know much of anything. So it's kind of just faking it till I make it, and then building those relationships and building my client base. So my second year, I made over 6 figures, which was nice.
Cool.
And so I said, well, maybe this is the career for me.
Yeah. Very cool. And now you're at like the 7-figure mark or something like that, right?
Right, maybe 8.
Eight figures, right? There we go. That's the type of quality caliber people bring on the show, folks.
Right.
Well, Jennypher, you mentioned something to me briefly, and I realized that you recently joined, not recently, maybe within the last year, it's 9 to 12 months, sound about right. You joined a Coldwell Banker brokerage in your market. You started a team of agents. Tell me a little bit about your team, where you're at, where you went to, where you're at today. And
I left my previous team trying to go a different direction with how I wanted to run my business. One of the agents who really looked up to me on my old team followed me, which was nice. And so we kind of just had our own little pair that we were doing. And then we ended up having a lot of people interested in joining. I got up to about, I think, 6 agents and an assistant, and then realized it just took a lot of babysitting, and most of my day, instead of like reaching out to clients and building those relationships, was babysitting, and I just can't do it. I already have 2 kids. I have to deal with them. I can't handle babysitting adults. And so I ended up we broke ties with a few of them, and we're down to just my 2 buyers agents and myself, and then a full-time assistant.
And is your model more so you're more interested in right now at this stage in your career in selling inventory, selling a lot of properties, as opposed to leveraging team members for residual income?
Yeah, so our big thing is customer service. A lot of agents are known for not answering their phone, not being personable, closing the deal, and you never hear from them again. And then you really feel like you were used, because you build this rapport and relationship, and you talk to them almost every day in an escrow. And then all of a sudden you close it, hey, congratulations, and then no one ever like touches base again. So We really treat every single client like they're our family. We are friends with them on Facebook. We send them happy birthday cards. We send them little pop-bys. And I think that really helps with our referrals because we're top of mind every single time they hear about real estate.
We're going to come back to the referral. I love that. You mentioned something, folks, and I don't know if you heard that. The fad it seems to be in the industry right now is building a team, getting a team, right? And a lot of you who are listening to this right now are probably thinking along the same lines. You're like, yeah, you know what? I should form a team. It just feels like it's your natural evolution in this industry, right? I remember when I formed a brokerage, I'm like, oh, I had a team. I had a team of 28 agents, so I thought it'd be a good idea to form a brokerage. Fuck no, that was the worst thing I ever did in my life because I was not a good broker owner, all right? And you have to understand what your strengths and or weaknesses are. So Jennypher just said something where she got up to a team of 6. And Jennypher, I'm not psychic, but I'm going to probably read your mind right here. And what I'm going to guess is that at first you figured more is better. Ego, right? I have 6 agents. Sounds really badass, right?
It does. Well, mine was more of like, I'm into like helping people. And so these people were struggling and they just needed someone to show them the way to do it. And I did that. And we all parted ways and they all had great things to say about me and the team and how we did it together. Mm-hmm. But sometimes a team isn't for everyone and they just want to friends. We still give each other hugs in the office. So there's no bad blood. It's just some people are made for the team. I just don't like having to babysit. Like, I want people who are willing to hustle as hard as I am. I give you a lead. You're going to work that freaking lead until they die or they tell you to F off and don't call me again. Right. Like, I don't want to have to constantly say, did you follow up this month? Did you follow up this week? Like, that's just dumb and a waste of my time.
Yep. And that's, if you're sitting, there's a lot of new models in the marketplace and people are always looking, let's go team. First, the ones who run a good team are the ones who are naturally meant to fit that position. Right. And running a team, I had the exact same issue. Like, I had a team up to 29 agents, and I told you right before we started the show, it was 27 headaches. And we actually did more business going lean and mean than we actually did with the amount of headaches we had. Because you're right, I was running around like servicing a bunch of agents, and there's really nothing in it for me. Not that I was being, not that I say that in an arrogant way, but I say that because, at the end of the day, we're running a business, and you either have to like what you're doing or you can't run that business.
And the thing is, your face is typically the name of that brand.
Yeah.
And if you're not out and meeting people and talking to people and touching base and you're doing nothing but sitting in the office babysitting, then all your clients or the whole town doesn't see you. So it's like, I want it to be more about lean, mean. Us girls, we're like best friends. And so we hang out and we know each other's ins and outs, and it's just way easier,
Yeah.
It is, for sure.
Very, very good point. I've heard that from quite about a bunch of people. Just literally, if you're not right for a team, know if you're right for it. But you have to start out by what your goals are. If you want to sell a lot of houses, you don't need a team necessarily full of numbers. And if you do, you scale into it. Right. You start with 1. Don't go hire 7 agents and you only have business for 2 because those other 5 are going to be literally driving you nuts.
Yep.
Very, very cool. You mentioned customer service. Let's get into this. I don't know. Have you guys been infiltrated in your market by the less expensive options? Are you getting the radio ads coming in saying, don't spend thousands of dollars on a realtor or save thousands of dollars from a certain amount of companies, 2 in particular? I won't say their names.
Yeah. Yep.
And these companies are coming on out and they're basically throwing realtors under the bus, right?
Well, I actually tested one. I had my mom pretend she was a prospect and wanted to possibly list her house.
And what happened?
And they assigned a local professional. Yep. And I looked up that agent. She closed like 5 deals in the past 10 years. And I said, okay, Mom, drill her. Like, what are they going to offer you? They can do open houses. Oh, well, maybe. And I'm just like, for those flat fees, the customer service is not there at all. And you regret it. Absolutely.
That was sort of my point. It's interesting you bring that up. Because the advertisements, like I see a lot of the groups, and I'm not here to down talk anybody or negatively talk about any other brand or their process or their USP or whatnot. But I do think that when your main advertisement is in the form of trashing every realtor as a waste of money, that we have the right to say that you are fucking shitty, right? And I think that 98% of the realtors out there would agree with me on this. Because
Absolutely.
I'm hearing their ads, and they're literally saying realtors suck, realtors suck, realtors suck, without saying realtors suck.
Right.
So what does this come back to? The number one thread that we're seeing in the space right now is, well, how do you compete against these different brands, right? What do you do? What do you offer? What makes what makes someone decide to use Jennypher versus someone use this less expensive option? And ultimately, it comes down to service, right? Now,
Absolutely.
I want to give people an example. So I found a new barber, right, in my neighborhood here. They just opened up the barber. It's about a few blocks from my house. And it's like this Eastern European couple. They came over from Brooklyn, but they're true barber. Like, they don't have true barbers in SoCal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Encinitas, there's like super clips, sports clips, or
Yeah.
like all the chain things. But this guy is a barber that cuts you, like, he faded up my neck right here with a razor. The real way barbers do it, okay?
Yeah.
Now, the cost of that barber was $27. The cost of sports clips is $18. Okay.
Right.
So after you add in tip, it's about $10 higher. Now, I will gladly go to the barber every single time because it feels good when they shave my neck like that. Right.
It's an experience.
I'll
You're
pay for
paying
that. I'll pay for it.
experience,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Absolutely. It's like going to a spa or going to like one of those where you can just go in, get a massage, and you're out.
Yep.
Like I'd rather spend a little bit more and have the robe and the atmosphere and the music and the tea. Like it's an experience. And buying a house is so freaking stressful. And if you can't get a hold of an agent or you're having to do it via email, like I answer my phone all the time, except for between 6:30 and 8:30 because that's for my family. But my clients know they can get a hold of me, and I get back to them as soon as possible and let them know that I'm here to shield you from the stress. If I need to bring you in and let you know what's going on behind the scenes, I will. But you don't need to worry about that stuff. That's my job.
Let's dive into this customer service because I think this is a very, very important topic. How many times in some of the Facebook groups, and folks, if you're not part of Lab Coat Agents, join Lab Coat Agents at the very least. You get a lot of really good insight from agents all over the country. It's just one of the best groups out there. So make sure you do join Lab Coat Agents, the Facebook group. It's free. Get in there. But one of those topics are just like, I see like the doom and gloom topics, right? You get an agent and they're just like, oh, so-and-so just infiltrated my market space. What are we going to do now? And I'm just like, dude, like, do you not get it? Here's the truth. If you're listing, if your USP for listing properties is putting a sign in the yard and popping it on the MLS, then please do tell me what the difference between you and one of these discount services is, exactly. Right? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
So what do? Well, invest in your education, get better, offer more services, get that razor blade to shave the neck to make other people feel good and tickle them. Like, what are you going to do on customer service? So I want to dig into your process because have you had this come up at all? Like, hey, there's this option and they cost this much less. Are you fighting this reservation yourself?
I mean, yeah, people come and go, okay, well, you charge this percentage, but so-and-so will do it for this. And now the thing is, you always say, well, they would know what they're worth. I don't know what they're worth. I know what I'm worth. I know what I bring to the table. I know how much marketing dollars I have to put up front. We make mini movies for the property. We blast them all over social media. We have to pay to hyper target. We know exactly where the buyers and demographics for the person who's going to come here. So we know exactly where to spend our money to make it work. We'll hold your house open as often as you'll let us because we believe if the door is open often, then that's a potential buyer. So if you're willing to let us, we'll do that. So that's why my buyer's agents are here. And then we're always there to answer any questions, obviously.
Did you guys just hear? She just whipped out a couple of things. We're targeting buyers. I'm assuming you're using Facebook ads. You're running traffic. She's building property websites. She's creating property videos. These aren't things you had to do 15 years ago, folks, because at that time we still controlled the data. And it was before NAR sold us out to Realtor.com or whatever you may want to call it. But that's really what happened. Now we no longer have the data or the information. Therefore, our role has totally gone into customer service from sales and information gatekeeper. And those things are exactly how you compete. You're exactly right. Lack of discount options are only present when lack of value's there, right?
Absolutely.
And that's really all it is. And if you find yourself questioning that, it's because you don't have a value proposition. And this might be tough to say, but get a book, start reading, go buy a course, go learn how to do Facebook ads, sign up for my shit, whatever. Do something to better your service because the chances are your broker is probably not showing you the right direction either.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I've been to many brokers, and I'm at Coldwell Banker now, and they have such an amazing culture and family atmosphere. Like, I'm super close with my broker, and we chat daily about possible investments and any questions I have. So it's nice to have that as a backup. So I mean, I don't know everything. I've only been doing this 4 years. So
Well, it's impressive that you're doing it 4 years, but you're doing very well,
thank you.
right? Most
Enjoy.
people don't have a team until like 8 years into the business.
Right.
If you're
So
going to go
the
out and do
thing
it.
is, I started at a brokerage. They wouldn't even help me. They wouldn't talk to me. The office manager would gossip all day and hang out in her office. And I would say, hey, I am like a sponge. Like, I can learn anything and I can sell anything as long as I know what I'm selling.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to like shadow someone and figure it out. And I couldn't even get that help. So I was like, I'm out. So that's when I ended up jumping onto a team that was growing and then just kind of learned as I went, which was nice.
That's the only way to really do it in this business.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's one of those things like I try to show people how to like run traffic to Facebook ad to a property website per se. But it's one of those things I could show you a million times until you actually do it. You're never going to get it.
Exactly. That's how I am. I need to see someone in action do it.
So let's get into this customer service. Let's define it, because I think customer service is a marketing activity. I think customer service, and I think that your current transactions that you guys may be working with are only a stepping stone to the next with good customer service.
Absolutely.
I don't believe that. I think customer service is all we have left. So I'm curious to know. Let's take our listeners through your customer service and let's define what it is, especially for some of the newer agents or for some of you dinosaurs out there who've been doing this for a year and you don't think you need to adapt. The truth is that everyone does.
When you're in an escrow or have a client, it's like a marriage. You really are married to this family for however many months. And some personalities don't vibe. I'm not going to vibe with every single person. No matter how much customer service I give, they may vibe with another agent. So I always say be a chameleon. If you can read people, if you know when to start pushing this out and when to back off, just like open houses, when to push to get their information and when to back off when they don't want to be sold. Some people don't have that in them to sense when to stop. So I think bringing that chameleon, building rapport, building the relationships with them, keeping in touch with them, going above and beyond. Like if they need help clearing something, I was over at a listing I had. He had a cleaning lady there. She was scraping stickers off of brand new windows. I was there for 2 hours helping scrape. But while I was doing it, I was talking to my client, getting to know him, getting to know his background. And we talk to each other every day. And so it's like we're almost like we're best friends, Mm-hmm. So going above and beyond and doing more than is expected, it'll come back. Definitely.
I've seen an agent. There's one agent, we actually had her name's Sherry Brown. She's in Santa Clarita office. She works, she was in the Santa Clarita area. They just started their own brokerage, but she's great at storytelling on social media. She kills it. She crushes it. And I remember to the point where we're talking about this right now, it was like a Sunday afternoon. I remember I was like hungover from whatever, and I'm on Facebook and she's there. Something didn't pass inspection and she's there like cleaning out the grate to the side of the house with her fucking toothbrush. And I'm almost like, holy shit. But what's really smart about it is that she's documenting it. And I think she did something like hashtag whatever it takes or something along those lines. And
above and beyond.
Above and beyond. Yeah. She's just storytelling and she's showing her customer service, which is a really good marketing activity, but without her having to be a total douche about it and be like, look what I'm doing.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
You mentioned some earlier. You said people don't stay in touch with their clients, folks. This is an extremely important point. Guess what? Guess the percentage of people that forget their agent's name after 6 months on the buy side.
75?
Close. It was reported about 80%.
Nice. Yeah.
Imagine this, okay? NAR came out with their stats, you guys. The stats came out and said 12% of buyers. Well, first off, two things. 51% of buyers found their agent through referral, and then 12% of buyers found their agent as repeat clients. They used them in the past. That's 63% of business came from referrals or people who've already used you. So first thing is that you don't get referrals from people you don't stay in touch with, right? And second thing is you can't get referrals when they forgot what your fucking name is.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, so... Let's talk a little bit about this. How are you keeping your brand? how are you nurturing the relationship with your past clients after the transaction cost? Because you're right, transaction's over. So what are you doing?
Right. So I always try to friend everyone that I meet on Facebook. And it's, I don't ever, like, even if I didn't do a transaction with them, if I'm meeting a soccer mom or something, I try to friend everyone. And then they see what I'm doing in real estate without me ever telling them I'm a realtor.
Correct. Did you guys get that?
I'm doing. Yeah, we got it.
Okay. It's important because you're talking about storytelling on social media, but I'm doing this every day with agents, and I'm like, Facebook is nothing more than an extension of your database. Like every single one of those people lives somewhere, guys. And I get this all the time. They're like, oh, I don't want to befriend everybody, or I don't want them to see my business, or I don't want to friend the creepsters. And I'm just like, look.
Wait, I do draw a line on some of the creepsters.
No doubt. There's a lot of freaking creepsters. I got a funny creepster story I'll tell you in a second. And men don't have it as much as women. Let's be honest.
Right.
Like I don't have women creepsters on my Facebook feed. I'll just friend everybody because it's a numbers game for me. But I totally understand your side of it. But listen to what she says. Okay, she says, "I friend everybody." Okay, and because you're storytelling on Facebook versus making it a classified ad, you're taking pictures of your process. You're showing cool shit, I'm sure. Right? You're showing cool pictures.
Family, the kids, you know, pets, vacations, blah, 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 my husband. And then I'll throw real estate in, 25% of the time. So they're not super annoyed by all my posts. Mm-hmm. I do have my separate business page where it's just straight business. But then I take it and share it to my personal page when I feel like it could benefit my sphere.
Yep.
So that way they see two sides of me. And then that way, when they start thinking of real estate, oh yeah, there's that one girl. Oh yeah, Jennypher, that's right. So I never had to even say anything to them.
Super duper important, folks. What else are you doing other than on social? Are you on any other platforms?
Instagram. I really think if you spend about an hour a day going through and really getting to see like your past clients and engaging on their posts, because obviously they spent the time to post something, so that kind of means something to them. So like if they had a birthday or an anniversary trip or anything, and if you can even go a step further and text them, hey, I saw that you went to Cancun. I hope you guys had an amazing time. You hope you guys are doing well.
So good.
Go, oh yeah, Jennypher, yes. And so they don't forget about me. They go probably maybe at the most 3 months without hearing from me, but every 3 months I'm at least touching them.
So, folks, this is really important. And what does this cost you?
Nothing.
It's free, folks. This is just common sense relationship building. Like so many of us want to hide behind the keyboard nowadays. And like I just did a podcast earlier today, and we we're talking about getting on camera and getting on video, and how we were, the first time we do this, we're a little shy, we're a little bit nervous, but after you do it, it becomes second nature. Right. And it's about just getting yourself out there and putting yourself out there. Folks, this is why this works. All right. Don't forget these numbers. If you follow my blog, if you follow my podcast, we say this all the time. Last year, 14.19% of the population moved. Regardless, it's about 10 to 15% of people move each year. Shit happens. Life events. People have babies. People get fired. People get divorced. Yeah, you don't know what the hell's going to happen. Yeah. But it's a given, and no matter what market you're in, a certain percentage of your network is moving. But that's not the reason why we nurture our relationships. It's actually a secondary reason. Number one reason is because 100% of the people we know has a referral for you in the next 12 months. It's impossible. And that's why this is nurturing is everything. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And then also finding like a niche, going out and being part of the community, joining things like I'm a firewife, so I have a big firewife, Facebook page, and I'm always in there chatting with ladies, and I get a lot of business from that. And then I also started roller derby, so now I have that whole sphere of ladies.
Awesome. Tell me about this.
Oh my God, I love roller derby.
It sounds awesome. I want to just
out yet, so I'm still going through Derby 101 and doing all that, but it's amazing. And then having your kids join sports teams and getting to know those moms, sponsoring the team. Like I have my logo on the banner every year, and then they go, oh, what's that? Oh, real estate. I didn't even have to tell them in real estate. It's right there on the banner, you know? So, just getting out and building your sphere. Don't sit in the house. I mean, you can be on Facebook, but I want you to go and make 10 new friends every day on Facebook that and that you can build a relationship with.
Do you feel like a lot of realtors overthink this lead gen and marketing thing?
I think so.
I do too. I'm like, you see a lot of agents want to jump into like Facebook ads, but yet they don't even know how to storytell on their personal page. It's just like you're putting, what's the saying? You're putting the horse before the cart or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Huh?
So it's like
the cart before the horse.
Cart before the horse. That's it. So how are you going to? And you're so right. It's just, think about it. Like my kid has on her soccer team, there's probably 15 other people. So one of those parents are moving this year. Mm-hmm. Right. So just a matter if I'm going to shake hands and during halftime. Right. And move around and go and meet them.
Or plan a play date. Hey, let's have a little pizza afterwards and let the kids play. Yep. You know, chit chat.
It's sociable. It's all it is, folks.
All it is.
Other than social media, what else how else you're keeping your name out there?
Well, we do open houses a lot, and so I always get a lot of my friends text me, "Hey, I see you all over town. Your signs are everywhere." So having as many of your buyer's agents out there every weekend, claiming corners that are very populated, heavy intersections, getting to know, like, people are going to see you constantly out there. Mm-hmm. And when they have to think of real estate and they go, hey, what's that one group that we always see on the corner every weekend? They're always out and hustling. Let's give them a call, you know?
Do you guys see the theme here? It's like, be everywhere all the time.
Right.
All right. All right. How many, because we're doing Women's Month, let's put this in women's terms, okay? You're on Nordstrom's. You click on the shoes, and all of a sudden that fucking high heel's all over your feed. It's all over every place you go. It's called retargeting.
Right.
And it's because that you've expressed interest, but if that shoe doesn't keep following you all over the place, you're less likely to buy it or remember it. Now, the first time you see that shoe, you're probably like, oh, my husband does not want me to buy these fucking shoes. Right? He's going to kick my ass if I buy these shoes, okay? Right. And then the second time, you're like, you know what? Yeah, he doesn't want me to buy shoes. It's not going to do it. Click off. Third time, you're like, will he know if I buy these shoes? All right. Fourth time. Yeah, I can
find them cheaper on another website. Right. Let me Google that.
Then that ad starts following you around.
Right.
Right. So you find a cheaper version of the same shoe, and now and then suddenly you justify your purchasing decision, and you deal with, and you'll say, I'll deal with my husband later.
Right.
So true. Very funny. All right. Well, do you do any cold lead generation? Are you doing any Zillow leads? Are you doing anything where you're buying leads or anything like that?
Yeah, I buy leads to a certain extent. I don't spend a huge amount of money because it's a waste. But you know, we get some decent leads from Zillow and Realtor. We also get them from our Coldwell Banker website. We get those round robin, and those are free to us. But beyond that, like, it's just about the relationships. I mean, really.
I love it.
Because, I mean, when people are thinking of buying, I would, like, if you're looking for a dentist, you're going to hit up your friend going, hey, which dentist do you use? Do you like them? Cool. Before you ever just Google a dentist. I mean, that's what I would do for services.
And why do you think that is?
Because they want to go to somewhere that their friends trust.
Correct.
Right? Yep. If your friends trust them, they believe they can trust you.
Yep. And it's a big decision.
Absolutely.
You know, like, you don't want to, I use this example all the time because I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
All right. I agree with you. I believe relationship is everything. I believe relationship trumps all. So here's how I'm going to prove it. I want you guys to think about, if you're listening to this right now, maybe you're on a treadmill, okay? I want you to, or you're at the gym, you're in the car. Think about that one deal you lost this year to a client you sold a few houses to. And the reason why you lost that listing was because they're like, yeah, my nephew Billy just got his fucking license.
Oh my God.
And you're like, hey, cool. Son of a bitch, Billy? Who the hell is this guy? Where's this guy come from? Billy's 21 years old, just fresh out of college. He just happened to get his real estate license. Now, your client whose house you sold, you've probably done 2 or 3 deals with your client, right? And, you know, this is a $700,000 house. However, the client's going to put the $700,000 investment in the hands of little Billy or Timothy, whatever I called him, versus you who has the experience. Now, you know that little Timothy is going to screw something up. It's normal. He's a new agent. I'm nothing against little Timothy. We were all there once.
Yep.
But one of my point of the story is that relationship trumps all.
Absolutely. I always get people, oh, well, my cousin just got their license, so I'm thinking of using them. And I'm like, awesome. Yeah. Well,
what do you say?
Experience they have. Obviously, they're just getting their license. Hopefully, they have a great coach. But this is a very stressful and delicate situation. And you can lose deals. You can miss out on a lot of money if someone's not going to bat for you the way they should. So
totally agree. Well, I love that you're doing all the relationship based stuff. I mean, that's what I teach and preach. I love it. I love it. Let me ask you a couple other questions. Any other open houses you mentioned?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about open houses and signage.
Yeah.
All right. So if we look at, buyer lead generation, the same numbers I gave you, I didn't know they're this high. These come from NAR. How did buyers find their agents? Well, 10% found their agent from an open house and 4% from signage, or those might be reversed. Either way, 14% of buyers found their agent through an open house or through signage. So what does that tell you? That's because they met the agent face to face, belly to belly, right? This wasn't virtual hugs. This was like two people having a conversation. They instantly thought, hey, I think Jennypher's pretty cool. I trust her.
Yeah.
That's what happens, right?
Exactly. You build that rapport, you get people to drop their walls and let open up. And what do you need? What are you looking for? Like, I know this area. Do you want low taxes, high taxes? From this street over here to this street, it's a $400 difference in a payment.
Right.
Does Billy, who just got his license, know that? Probably not.
Yep.
So it does help to have someone experienced. So open houses is where I made most of my bread and butter the first 2 years of real estate. I mean, just being out there every single weekend. And that's the hard part, is giving up your weekends with your family. But that's where you're going to make your money. So if you can put in a good solid, 4 to 6 months of just hustling straight, maybe take one weekend off or like a Sunday off or something. But
wait, you got to work hard to make it? Doesn't make any sense.
Right. I know. Like, I have to work. Well, if someone said you can make 6 figures, but you had to work weekends at a regular job, would you do it? You probably would, right?
Yep.
Well, this one, I'm actually just going to have you sit in a house and you're just working anyways. It's an office. Yep. And then when people come in, you just talk to them. It's not that hard.
A lot of folks, if you're a brand new agent, like a newer agent, you're looking for business and you're in an office full of agents, sit their open houses. I mean, There's never a shortage of that. But maximize it. Make sure you have the signage. Make sure you do something a little bit different. I mean, and I'm not talking about just having cookies out. Like, if you're going to have like food out, make it some kind of food that's memorable. I'll give you an example. There's a team I'm working with out here, and they're doing an open house today. Friday. It's a Friday, and they're doing it from 3 to 6. It's not an open house. It's a happy hour. Okay. Right. He's got beer there. It's a block from the beach. Because that's beach living, that's beach style. So he's doing that on purpose. So what's is going to be more memorable? And, also I do believe in this. I believe you attract like people. If you walk into an open house, you either hit it off or you don't. Do you agree with that?
Right. Absolutely. And then you can't be the instant salesman, because I can tell when someone's trying to sell me.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Oh my God. So I can tell, like, I just greet them, let them know about the property and say, take a look around. I'll be right here. I'm not going to follow you. You do your thing. And then when they come down, kind of, oh, where are you guys from? Okay, my daughter goes to school. And then you start just getting in there slowly. And then you go, oh, so, are you guys just getting your feet wet? What are you guys looking for? And just chat them up casually. Don't be like, here, sign in. I don't ever have a sign-in sheet.
I hate sign-in sheets. I'm glad you brought that up.
I hate them because obviously I'm not going to give you my correct phone number. Why would I give you everything about me and I haven't even officially met you or trust you yet? So I have to earn their information, So I just try to let them see my value, what I can do for them, and say, hey, what's your information? I'll send you all the homes within right now in 15 minutes because it's slow right now.
Yep.
And they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Customer service.
Did you, I see this pop up. What app are you using to get their information? And I agree with you. And folks, this is like dating. Let's say, Jennypher, I was trying to take you out on a date. Okay. The very first thing I would do is not say, where do you want to hook up at?
Right.
It's going to be like instant joke, make you laugh. And the first transaction on any conversion, whether it's dating or you're picking up a client, is the permission to continue the conversation.
Exactly.
All right. So it's not like we're talking about anything, and we overthink this stuff, because I think that I also can side with a new agent, because I remember when I was in an open house and a $500,000 buyer came in, I was thinking $12,500, not new buyer at the open house, and that also comes off though.
Right. Oh, right? Yeah.
People can read that. Like when you have commissions, dollar signs coming out of your eyeballs, people feel that.
Right.
So you just got to be you at the end of the day, and you just got to be natural, and you'll attract like people. I'm a firm believer. I know it.
Yep. And I mean, some people aren't made for this business. I mean, you can try, but it takes a certain personality, I think.
I agree. Yeah, it's a tough business. There's no doubt.
Oh, it
It's
is.
not going to happen overnight, but you got to put your time in and you be consistent is what it comes down to.
Yes.
Very, very cool. I appreciate you sharing your insight. Any other tips you want to give to any of our listeners that you may
I
want to? Yeah.
Don't give up. So I've had leads that were given to me, and I just kept texting and calling, and I don't even know if there was a live person on the other line, but it was just in my rotation of follow up that day. A year later, he responded, "Hey, yeah, we are thinking of buying. Can we go take a look this weekend?" I was like, "Oh my God, there's someone on the other end of this freaking phone.
Yeah.
This is crazy." So, like, unless someone tells me, "Please leave me alone," and that's the nice way of saying it.
Fuck off.
Right, like, you are fucking annoying. Leave me the hell alone. Don't call me. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm still going to email you because you didn't say not to email you.
Yeah.
But I mean, unless they say, please leave me alone, I am constantly going until I get something.
Yeah.
Something from them. You know, even if you bought, cool, I'm still going to put you on a drip and send you, hey, happy St. Patrick's Day. Because you know what? In 2 years, when they want to move up, they're going to say, oh, yeah, that girl, she always is constantly sending us stuff.
Yep.
So,
Totally agree. Totally agree. I think we subscribe to the same mentality, same mindset. So I really do appreciate you coming on the show. As always, towards the end of these shows, we always like to give you the floor. Let you maybe you want to go ahead and plug your team, plug your business. Maybe some agents have referrals for some people looking to buy or sell in your area. So go ahead. The floor is yours.
okay, so we are the Jennypher Moore Group, which we're now labeled as JMG Real Estate with Coldwell Banker. We're in the Temecula Valley area. We service San Diego, LA, Orange County, and Riverside. So if you have any clients that are looking to sell or buy out here, we always give a referral fee. We love to help them out. And hit me up if you have any questions about anything I talked about. You can find me on Facebook. Jennypher, it's spelled funny, Jennypher Moore.
PH.
I know.
PH. I used to always say that's PH, like fat, like with the PH.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great show, Jennypher. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy, your enthusiasm, and we love what you're doing. So keep it up. Keep kicking ass. And best of luck to you, and thanks for your insight. And folks, thank you for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. Do you need help with your personal brand? Call me. Let me do it for you. It's what I do. I like building personal brands that you can attract business versus chase it. Check out our site. Check out our software attractor, realestatemarketingdude.com. And if you have any questions, you can always ping me on the site. Thank you again, dear. It was awesome. Great show. And we will be in touch. And hopefully I see you soon at an event.
I know. That'd be nice.
Cool. Well, I will see you later. Have a good weekend. Adios. Bye-bye.